Ed, Edd and Eddy was one of my favorite cartoons growing up, but when I went back and rewatched the final movie, I noticed something that piqued my curiosity. That Ed is an Earthbender. What? I know you may be thinking, but I have gathered the evidence to prove it to you. So, strap into your seatbelts, turn your volumes up to 10, and by the end of this video, your brains will be shattered. Starting off, we have the similarities of these scrolls. The scrolls are forms of writing that are used to pass down techniques through different generations of the benders. Here we have what must only be an earthbending scroll that Ed has, as you can see how much he cares about it. Next, we have the minute detail that goes unnoticed between many Avatar fans, and that is that the Earthbenders never wear shoes. And it's because they use their feet to bend with the ground. And as you notice here, Ed never has a shoe on one of his feet, probably because he's using it to bend with the earth. He doesn't take both shoes off because he's limiting his power. They cause enough chaos on the cul-de-sac already. Next up, we have a scene in which Eddy and Ed are drowning in quicksand, and Double D is trying his hardest to save them, but he fails to do so, thinking his friends perished. But it all turns out to be an elaborate and cruel prank done by Eddy and Ed to him. But this doesn't explain how they were sinking so deep into the quicksand if it turns out it was only up to their feet. This is only further proof that Ed used his earthbending to sink them down that low, just to do a little prank against Double D. And away we go! Here we have blatant proof of Ed earthbending the ground away so that they can get going on their boat. Next up, we have Ed using a burrowing technique similar to that of the Bajamol, as he burrows through the ground with ease, over to the place where he can sleep soundly at night. This is also similar to the technique King Boomy used after his fight with the Avatar. Here we have a situation in which Toph was trapped in a metal cage. This was at the time when Earthbenders were unable to bend metal, so Toph taught herself how to metal bend, and she escaped her prison. The two events you just saw were far too similar. Toph was trapped inside a metal cage and figured out how to metal bend, letting herself escape. The same goes for Ed, as he was trapped inside of the metal car, learning how to metal bend and escape. Then I noticed something that wasn't adding up. Ed fell on top of Eddy asleep, so then Eddy threw him into the air. But this caused Ed to wake up in quite a bit of rage.
Should have stayed at that motel.
Incredible, unfathomable, those are just two of the words that would describe the power Ed just unleashed, altering the very foundation of the Earth itself, its power equivalent to that of, well, that of the Avatar. This is only the beginning of the similarities I noticed between the Avatar and Ed, such as how every Avatar has a spirit animal, Aang's being his trusted sky bison, Appa, Avatar Roku's being his dragon, and Ed's being his lumpy mutated horsey will save us! Then I noticed some other instances that seem to be more than just coincidence. Water, air, and fire. I've uncovered something that all people before me have failed to notice. Something that if truth got out, it would be pure mayhem. That not only is Ed a master earthbender, but he is also the Avatar. On next week's video, we compare the parallels between Ralph's journey and Naruto's.